We are an engine company. We're doing point protection for the CSU campus, and we're assigned to protect some of these historic buildings back in here. What we've done is we've gone through and prepped all these buildings. As you can see, we have some of the openings, we've covered them up with some fireproof coverings so we don't get embers that move into those buildings. We've also moved any kind of Class A combustibles away from these structures. Anything you see, any kind of firewood, any kind of seating material, anything like that, we've moved it away from the building and put it in a safe area where it's not going to catch on fire. We've also had crews come in here, set up sprinklers. So we have a couple different pumps that are in different locations where we feed this big loop so that we can put about 4 gallons a minute through each of these sprinklers, and we keep them wet. We have Mark III pumps set up in locations spread out here. What we do is we drop a drafting hose down into the river itself, and then we can pull about 70 gallons a minute up through that, and we feed this giant loop. So we have an inch and a half line that's spread out over, and then we have little spiders that go all over these little 3/4 inch garden hoses that feed all of these sprinklers. And then additionally, we'll have some attack lines that have been teed off, so we can use those. We can open up those nozzles, and we can knock down any fire as it burns up to us. For readiness, what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and pre-wet these areas. We'll run these pumps and make sure that all of this foliage and all this greenery around these is wet. So we have a little extra time. So if it's wet, then the probability of ignition goes down significantly. As the fire creeps down into here, what we'll do is we'll sit here and wait for that fire to creep up to these buildings, and we'll knock it down as it comes in. We're not trying to actually put it out as it comes into the buildings. We're waiting for it to burn up to that building, and we'll knock any embers that come around down in here. If there's any spot fires that move into these grassy areas, we'll go ahead and knock those down. We have an additional 250 to 300 gallons on our brush truck here, so we're kind of mobile. We can go back and forth and kind of gauge where the biggest threats are, and that way those little embers that are coming flying over from the actual fire front aren't going to ignite the fuels around the structures. It's a constant cycle of going back and checking those things, making sure that all of our systems are in order.